Hey guys, so how to thrive as a virtual bookkeeper. So I'm going to talk about two different things that cause most people to fail. It's very, very hidden that most people understand. So most people's businesses will crumble from the inside long before they ever hit an inflection point. Now, when I say an inflection point, I really mean that in every business, project, career, life, there are key moments that if you are able to pass those key moments and move everything forward, then you're successful. If you don't, it oftentimes was the moment that created the necessary momentum for you to go and reach that point. It's why they talk about some people have like that failure to launch moment where it's like, they had enough talent, they had enough skill, it was like right there, but for whatever reason they just didn't like kind of move and didn't get it off the ground. Okay? And that's a very kind of upsetting kind of place to be at, especially if you knew that you could have gone for more but you just didn't for whatever reason, right? So in an attempt to prevent that from happening to you, I'm making this video today. Let me turn on this. It's not quite as awesome. So the first things first, okay? I'm always thinking about focus, okay? So most people, what happens is they are never focused. Now, focus stands for following one course of action until successful. Now, when I was starting out, I had like 3 different types of like side businesses, and none of them were like really, really successful. I just didn't have enough time in the day or the mental bandwidth to really push them to that next level that was kind of like needed. Now, if you're gonna hit those inflection points, you need to be focused, right? Following one course of activity until successful. Now, you can be distracted outside of your business, so that could be our personal life, that could be other types of businesses. There's a million different things that are basically in this world to go and steal our focus. Because if you could just focus on something, like if you could sit down and focus on something for like 12 months straight, technically you don't even need 12 months. If you just could focus for 6 months on something, you would change your life. Like that's what it took for me. Like some people don't understand. Like COVID was kind of a weird time for me, right? Because there was like a lot of deaths and different things that kind of were going around, especially in my family and stuff. But for my career, like that took us to the next level, right? And it was very, very professionally. It was a great time because I couldn't get distracted. Like there's just nothing I could get distracted from. So I just like grew both of the businesses. It was amazing, right? Now, a good example of one of our students where like it was all about like focus. One of our students basically he had like 3. He was like an author, he was like a coach of some sort, and he was trying to run his accounting firm. So like he basically just like finished his book, so he had nothing else to write about. And then for his coaching business, we just say, hey, let's just pause until we can at least get this side going. Because he wasn't really bringing on that many clients. Like here or there, he would get on like a couple clients, et cetera, which it just required so much mental focus for him. Just kind of, it's like mental drag. Everyone has like a set capacity of what they can think about. And as long as once they've kind of passed that capacity, they're very ineffective with other things. So it's like, if you're already doing your business part-time, you need to give your business enough focus to make it something great, and then you can start diversifying. Like some people, like they just do too many different things. They want to do Amazon FBA, they want to start like a social media marketing agency, they want to start an accounting firm, they want to start a nonprofit, like they want to start a daycare, like all at the same time. Like any one of those businesses could work well. It's just like none of them are going to work well the way that you're doing because you just don't have enough focus on it, So it's just like, just give it enough time. Just give it enough time. Like, I would maximum, I'd have 3 things going in my life at any given time, right? So one could be like your job. Another thing could be your family. Another thing could be your business, right? Or if you don't have family, it could be job, hobby, business, right? I would probably, if you have like a hobby, there was one guy who came on the phone, was like, yeah, I don't have a lot of time to grow my business because I play 3 hours of video games a day. I was like, what? 3 hours of video games every single night? And like, is that all you do? Or is that kind of just like what you like to spend? He said, well, sometimes it's even longer. It's like, what? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, if at all possible, if it's something that's not like non-essential, see if you can just move your business forward, right? Like your kids, like you can't put your business in front of your kids in a lot of cases, right? Like sometimes you can. I've seen some people do it, right? But it's not one of those things. It's like an either or, right? Because I mean, your children aren't going to require that much more time from you, right? So it's just like, it's just one of those things. And then also, the next thing is you have to kind of focus on the now, or else you're never going to make it to the later. A lot of people talk about like legacy way too early. Like I talk to people like, yeah, you know, like, well, they're already planning like 50 years down the line when it comes to like they're gonna have like 20,000 real estate properties. They're gonna have this. They're gonna have 5 or 7 different businesses. Like I have no doubt that you're gonna be there, but you have to be equally optimistic about the future as well as like super aggressive in the short term. Like it's like if you're handling your business, you're getting clients, you're moving. Okay, cool. We can talk about the future all day, right? Because you're doing the stuff you need to do now. But if you're not doing the stuff you need to do now, and you're actually using the future as a way to kind of escape from the current situation that you're currently in, then that might be a distraction. Okay, how I like to think about my goals is like I write down my goals every single day. Generally about like 2 to 3 times. Like one in the morning, one in the evening. Sometimes in the middle of the day. It just kind of depends on just kind of like my schedule, my life, right? But as soon as I've written down those goals, it's boom, it's going. I'm going back to what I'm doing. Sometimes you can even write like you're on like a vision board, right? You can write down your goals and your dreams on a vision board and stuff like that. And then you can just kind of like see and like know what you want in your life, right? But it's like you kind of have that there while you're doing the work today to work towards that, and the opportunities come up. But if we're always waiting for the opportunity before we start putting in the work, you're never going to get that opportunity because opportunities require work to take advantage of the opportunities. Okay? Next thing is like, yeah, it's like when you're starting your business, you're technically starting at 0. You might have a really strong corporate career, I understand. Maybe you're making, 200, maybe you're making 175, 200, 230 at your job, right? But we all start a business at 0. Now you can try and buy a business, and yes, your revenue will be high, but as soon as you lose clients or something happens, you're never going to be able to rebuild, right? So it's like, you got to treat it like you're starting there, like when you're starting, right? Now, everything in this game is about longevity. It's about doing things consistently. It's about focusing on where you are now while knowing where you're trying to go. And just don't give up. Like there's one of the greatest business people of our time, Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. They were just consistent and didn't start and stop. Like they didn't start, then stop, then start, then stop, right? From 1965, they had the same business until the day he died. I'm not saying he was working 10-hour days until he died. I'm not necessarily saying that. But they had incredible consistency, right? That's what it takes to go and grow this thing. That's what it takes. Just consistency. If you can do something consistently for 10 years, you're gonna have a lot of money in your accounts. It's just a fact. It's what worked for me, and like I'm not even the richest person ever, right? A lot of people have way more money than I do. But I've just done it in a way that's very, very convenient, and for the average person who can actually go and like follow in those footsteps, right? And you can go just start doing whatever you want, right? I mean, it's funny. It's like by sacrificing a little bit today, and like not sacrificing that much. Like I finished work at 6 o'clock. Like it's 5:18 right now. It's actually one of the later times. Like I basically, yeah, this is one of the later days for me, right? I just came back from a walk, and it's like when you start building up the team and when you start like really understanding your consultation call process. Yes, you don't need 1,000,000 hours of work. It takes time to build that, right? And the cool thing is like once you get started, it gets easier. Because the hardest part is just getting things started. It's getting your initial clients. It's getting the initial understanding of consultation calls. It's getting your daily schedule down. Once you have that down, it's pretty much just rinse and repeat, right? It's like you're basically building a new career, but it's in a career where you can control your time and you can basically control what you want to do, right? So it's like I'm gonna start probably taking more vacations in the next probably 2 months, right? Because like for my accounting firm, I don't have to do anything. Like it's ridiculous at this point. there's a little bit of stuff that I want to do. Like I like doing the consultation calls, but as far as like doing the client work and stuff like that, it's like it's not my favorite thing. So I just have my controller do it, and it's just like just being consistent. Like this is like one of the best times for me because it's like you kind of put a lot of stuff in motion, and then you just kind of like let it go and you keep doing it. You keep breaking, you keep fixing, you keep breaking and fixing things until it finally gets to a point to where you want it to be. So now I'm really excited for like the next like 3-4 years where it's just stacking cash. I don't have to spend money on a bunch of stupid stuff. My team is locked and loaded. And we're just going to keep rising and keep just growing. So it's a good spot, and I want you to be at that spot. I don't want you to kind of be thinking about your job. I don't want you to trade time in your job with time for your family. You know what I mean? I want you to be able to get your business to a point to where you can, leave. You can do this thing full time. You can choose if you want to go for a walk with your daughter in the middle of the day. You can. If you want to go take your aging mother to the grocery store during the middle of the day, you can. If you want to work out during the morning, you can. You have the options to do so. So, just one of those things in this life. You can't have everything, but the stuff that you want, you can have a lot. You just got to put in the time, stay focused, and you will win. Okay? I just want to encourage you. As always, I'm looking forward to your progress. I'm super proud of all you've overcome. I thank you so much for your time, okay? Appreciate it. Always a text message away.